Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. Here is a video about 2D and 3D equilibrium of a particle. These 7 problems are problems in the long quiz in the university where I am teaching. So I hope that you will be able to follow the solutions and explanations and with less animations, of course, so that I can explain the solutions in less period of time. So here is the first problem. The ball D has a mass of 20 kilograms. If a force F of 100 newtons is applied horizontally to the ring at A, determine the dimension D, this D here, so that the force in cable AC is 0. So that's why here I indicated in this free body diagram, the force in AC is 0. Then we have tension in AB. The force F 100 newtons as given in the problem, and the weight of this ball 20 kilograms times G 9.81, so 196.2 newtons. So we will call the angle that tension AB makes with the horizontal, and tangent of this angle is 1.5 plus D all over 2. So let's solve for the components of AB because tangent of this angle is also the vertical component of AB divided by the horizontal component of tension in AB. So summation forces X, this is the free body diagram, equals 0. So 100 rightward is equal to the X component of tension AB, which is TAB times cosine of the angle that tension AB makes with horizontal. So cosine theta, call that equation 1. Then summation forces Y equals 0 or vertical equals 0. Vertical component of tension AB is TAB sine of theta. Then it is equal to the downward force of 196.2. Equation 2. We then divide equation 2 by equation 1. So TAB sine theta over TAB cosine theta. TAB sine theta is 196.2, while T sub AB cosine theta from 1 is 100. So we can cancel TAB. Sine theta over cosine theta is tangent theta. And 196 point over 100 is 1.962. And by this right triangle, it is also equal to D plus 1.5 over 2. Solving for D, D is 2 times 1.962 minus 1.5. So D is 2.424 meters. So we proceed to problem 2. If the tension developed in each of the 4 wires is not allowed to exceed 600 newtons, determine the maximum mass of the chandelier that can be supported. So this is the chandelier, this is the free body diagram. So the mass of the chandelier is denoted by M. So the weight is mass times G, 9.81. Tension in CD, tension in BD. So this angle is 30 degrees, so that's also 30 degrees. This angle is 45 degrees, so that's also 45 degrees. We then proceed to B to solve for the tension in its cable. The tension with the greatest value in terms of M is the critical cable, and its value should be equal to 600 Newton. It should not exceed 600 Newton. So let's investigate which cable, part of the cable system here is in critical situation. So first we begin at B. Summation forces horizontal equals 0. Summation forces X 0. So we have T sub CD cosine of 30 degrees equals T sub BD cosine of 45 degrees. So T sub CD is equal to square root of 6 over 3 of tension BD. We then sum up forces vertical or y equals 0 here at B. So we have vertical component of TBD sine 45 degrees plus T sub CD sine of 30 degrees equals the weight M times 9.81 or 9.81 M. Substituting the value of TCD, which is square root of 6 over 3 TBD, so we have TBD sine 45 degrees plus TCD square root of 6 over 3 TBD times sine of 30 degrees equals 9.81 M. From here, we can now solve tension in BD in terms of M. 8.7954 of M, while tension CD is square root of 6 over 3 times 8.7954 for M. So tension in CD is 7.1814 of M. Then we proceed to joint B, summation forces Y first so that we can solve TAB. So vertical component of tension AB is tension AB sine of 30 degrees equals the vertical component of BD, which is tension BD sine of 45 degrees. Substituting the value of TBD 8.795 for M sine 45 divided by sine 30 degrees. So tension AB is 12.4386 of M. Finally, at B, summation forces X, we have tension BC plus tension BD, which is 8.7954 M, the horizontal component, so we multiply cosine 45 degrees, is equal to the horizontal component of tension AB, which is 12.4386 M cosine of 30 degrees. Solving for tension BC, it is 4.5529 of M. So based on the tension of each cable, the one with the highest value in terms of M is tension AB. So therefore, AB is the critical cable here. Because it is the highest, then we set its value to 600 newtons. So we have 12.4386 M equals 600 newtons. That's why M is 48.24 kilograms. So that's it for problem 2. So problem 3. Determine the mass of each of the two cylinders if they cause a sag S of 0.5. This is S. When suspended from the rings at A and B. Note that S is 0 when the cylinders are removed. So this is the figure. These are the springs when the cylinders are removed. So the force, this is the free body diagram when the two cylinders are attached to A and B. So the tension is equal to the spring constant. Tension in the spring is spring constant K, which is 100 newtons per meter times change in length of this spring, delta S. Then the tension in AB, I'll just denote it with T. Let's focus on A. And the weight of this cylinder is M times G. So at normal length of spring, or this one, it is square root of 2 square plus 1.5 square. So it is 2.5 meters. In this stretched length of the spring, it is, because S is 0.5, vertically it is 2 meters, horizontally 2 meters. Therefore, the length of AC is square root of 2 square plus 2 square. So it is 2 square root of 5 meters. From here, we can solve the change in length of the spring delta S, which is final length 2 square root of 2 minus natural length of spring 2.5. So it is 0.3284 meters. The tension in AC, therefore, which is K delta S, is 100 times 0.3284, so 32.84 newtons. We then apply static equation at A, which is summation forces Y, to solve for M. So summation forces Y equals 0. Take note that because S is 0.5, for this right triangle, vertically 2 meters, horizontally 2, so the angle is 45 degrees. So summation versus y0, tension in the spring, which is 32.84 vertical component, so we multiply sine 45 degrees is equal to m times 9.81. So from here, we can solve the mass of the cylinder equal to 2.367 kilograms. For problem 4, determine the tension developed in cables AB, AC, and AD. So we have AB directed along the positive x-axis, then AC, which is the plane of AC is this vertical plane here, which makes an angle of with the horizontal, and this axis is on the xy plane, that's the y-axis, 60 degrees, and this shadow of this cable AC on the xy plane makes an angle of 30 degrees with the y-axis. So this component of tension is of AC is tension AC times cosine of 60 degrees. Then we have here a right triangle for the components of TAC along y and along x. Of course, along x it's negative. It's directed opposite to the positive x-axis. So as while tension AD is making an angle of with the x-axis 120 degrees, so this is automatic theta x. With the z-axis, it is 45 degrees, so that's automatic theta z, the direction angle of that vector. Then with respect to the negative y-axis, it is negative 60 degrees. It's not theta y. Theta y is from the y-axis to that force, so that's 120 degrees because 180 degrees minus 60 is 120 degrees. But you can use 60 degrees provided that you describe its direction. It is directed backward because the angle with the x-axis is 120 degrees, upward and leftward. Anyway, summation versus x equals 0, so we have tension AB positive. Then supposedly this is negative, but because this is theta x 120 degrees, so the x component of tension AD is tension AD times cosine of theta x. Then minus the component of tension AD on the xy plane first is tension AC cosine 60 degrees, and x-axis is this part which is opposite to 30, and it is negative because it is directed in the negative x direction. So minus, so hypotenuse tension AC cosine 60 degrees, then this component opposite to 30, so times sine 30 degrees equals 0. Simplifying, we have tension AB minus 0.5 tension AD minus 0.25 tension AC equals 0. Call that equation 1. Then we sum up forces along y equals 0. Of course, tension AB has no y component. It is directed towards the positive x-axis. Then tension AD is negative. It is either negative tension AD cosine 60 or plus tension AD cosine of 120 degrees, where 120 degrees is the angle that vector AD makes with the y-axis, positive y-axis. So 180 degrees minus 60 degrees is 120 degrees. You can replace negative tension AD cosine 60 by positive tension AD cosine 120 degrees instead, whichever is convenient to you. Then plus this component of tension AC, which is hypotenuse tension AC cosine 60, then adjacent to 30 degrees, so times cosine of 30 degrees equals 0. Simplifying, 0 tension AB minus 0.5 tension AB plus square root of 3 over 4 tension AC equals 0. Call that equation 2. Finally, summation forces along Z equals 0. Again, tension AB has no Z components, 0 tension AB. Then theta Z is 45 degrees for tension AD, so plus tension AD cosine of 45 degrees. Then this is the Z component of tension AC, or that's the component of tension AC. So, or the angle theta Z for tension AC is 30 degrees. So anyway, I'll just use this 60 degrees. It is tension AC sine of 60 degrees positive. It is upward. So plus tension AC sine 60 degrees, then equals this force 300 to the negative Z direction. So equals 300. So simplifying, we have 0 tension AB plus square root of 2 over 2 tension AD plus square root of 3 over 2 tension AC equals 300, equation 3. Solving equations 1, 2, and 3 simultaneously, we obtain tension AB 138.6 pounds, tension AD 175.7 pounds, and tension AC 202.9 pounds. Then, problem 5. The mass of block A is 42 kilograms and the mass of block B is 50 kilograms. The surfaces are smooth. If the blocks are in equilibrium, what is the force F? So I'll just present one solution. I will explain the other solution supposedly. So this is the free body diagram of the entire system. We have weight of B 50 kilograms times G 9.81. So that would be newtons. Weight of A 42 kilograms times G. Then we have normal at B. The surface is smooth, so it is horizontal, perpendicular to this vertical surface. This is the required F, and normal to this surface, which makes an angle of 20 degrees. So the normal at A is also making an angle with the vertical of 20 degrees. So from this forced triangle of B, this NAB here is internal. That's why the arrow is pointing upward. For if you draw the free body diagram of the upper part, B, then you transmit that to A if you want the free body diagram of block A alone. So again, considering the free body diagram of B, the angle that normal AB makes with the vertical is also 45 degrees because that's given. So we have 50 times G, then the normal in AB, which makes an angle of 45 degrees with the vertical, then the normal at B, which is horizontal. So since these angles are 45 degrees and that's 90 degrees, when one angle of a right triangle is 45 degrees, the opposite and the adjacent sides are equal. Therefore, NB is equal also to 50G. So that's why I put here at B, NB equals 50G. Having known NB equals 50G, we then sum up forces Y equals 0 to solve for NA. So the Y component of NA is NA cosine 20 degrees is equal to 42G, then plus 50G plus 50G. Now, NAB is not included because this equation is set up for the free body diagram of the entire system. Remember, for internal reaction, if you draw the free body diagram of the entire system, we do not touch that. So that's why it's like there's no NAB there. Or it is in equilibrium by itself. So solving for NA, 92, 42 plus 50 is 92G divided by cosine 20 degrees, so 916.44 newtons. Finally, summation forces X equals 0. So F plus NA sine 20. So F plus NA 960.44 sine 20 degrees is equal to NB, which is 50 times G, 9.1. So F is 162.0 newtons. Another way, if you want, this may be the solution of some of you. You transmit NAB, you can compute NAB, which is equal to square root of 50G squared plus 50G squared, where G is 9.81, so you can solve for NAB. Transmit that to block A, then the free body diagram block A consists of 42G, NAB, which makes 45 degrees with the vertical, and NA, which makes an angle of 20 degrees with respect to the vertical. Then summation versus Y to solve for NA, then summation versus X to solve for F. The answer is the same. So next, problem 6, 2 more. The ends of the 3 cables are attached to a ring at A, here, and to the edge of the uniform plate. So the plate is 12 meters by 12 meters as shown. Let's just make the height 8 meters distance from the center of the plate to the hook A, the ring at A. Determine the largest mass the plate can have if its cable can support a maximum tension of 15 kilonewtons. So take note, the tension in its cable is limited to 15 kilonewtons, but it doesn't mean that all of these cables will have this value of tension. So we have to investigate which cable is stressed mostly, or the most stressed cable, because that's the cable that is critical in this problem. And knowing the cable that is most stressed, then we set the value of the tension there to be 15 kilonewtons, which is 15,000 newtons, to be consistent with mg, because mass times g, kilogram times 9.81 meters per second square is newtons. So we first set up the vector form of tension T1, which is tension in BA. So it is equal to magnitude of tension 1 times quantity. It is directed in the negative direction because this is 2 and that is 6 for the center. So 4 meters backward, so negative 4i. Then 6 meters rightward, positive 6j. Then 8 meters upward, positive 8k, divided by magnitude or length of BA, square root of 4 squared plus 6 squared plus 8 squared, which is square root of 116. So vector T1, tension T1 in vector form is magnitude of T1 over square root of 116, quantity negative 4i plus 6j plus 8k. So that is in newtons also. Tension T2, it is directed forward. So from this edge to the center, that's 6 meters, so 6i. So magnitude of tension T2 times quantity 6i. Then rightward, so it is already 2, so 4 plus 4 to make it 6. So 4j, tension T2. Then supposedly this is J. Then upward 8, so 8k. So since we have the same components, then the magnitude of that length is square root of 116 also. So T2, this is T2 is equal to this is T2, 6i plus 4j plus 8k over square root of 116. While T3 in vector form, it is directed forward also. So for I because it begins at D. So forward 4, so for I, then leftward 6, so negative 6J, then upward 8K over same magnitude square root of 116. We then apply equilibrium equation, summation forces x 0. So for T1, it is negative 4 T1 over square root of 116, then plus 6 T2 over square root of 116, then plus 43 over square root of 116 equals 0. Then, since square root of 116 is common, cross multiply with 0, so 0. So we have negative 41 plus 62 plus 4t3 equals 0. So that means that's equation 1. Summation forces y equals 0. For t1, it is 6 t1 over square root of 116. For t2, it is 4 over square root of 116. For T3, it is negative 6 over T3 over square root of 116 equals 0. So again, cancel square root of 116. Then we have 61 plus 42 minus 63 equals 0. Call that equation 2. Finally, summation forces along Z equals 0. All are positive. So you have 8 over square root of 116 T1 plus 8 T2 over square root of 116 plus 8 T3 over square root of 116 equals mg, and g is 9.81. So 9.81 times square root of 116 divided by 8. So we have T1 plus T2 plus T3 equals 13.207 of m. Equation 3. Solving these three equations simultaneously, we obtain T sub 1 6.6035 m, T2 is 0, and T3 is 6.6035 m. Since T1 and T3 are equally stressed, so either of the two is critical, and therefore we set the tension value equal to 15 kilonewtons or 15,000 newtons. So 6.6035 m equals 15,000. From there, m is 2272 kilograms. And finally, problem 7, determine the angle theta such that an equal force is developed in legs OB and OC. What is the force in each leg if the force is directed along the axis of each leg? The force F lies in the XY plane. So this is on the XY plane. It has no Z component. The supports A, B, and C can exert forces in either direction along the attached leg. So it's either away from O or towards O. That's the meaning of that. So these are two force bodies for those who have experience with statics. So I'll call the force in OB as FOB, force in OC as FOC, OA, FO, OA. I assume all forces are in tension, so they are away from the point of application. And this is 100 pounds, and it makes angle theta with the y-axis as shown. Since the distance from this point on the plane to point O is 10 feet, and the radius of this circle is 5 feet, and take note that these points A, B, and C are equally spaced 120 degrees each. So that means, and by the way, this point to A is parallel to X as indicated by this 10 feet here. So that means the shadow of FOA is directed in the positive Y direction. And this angle is inverse tangent of opposite 5 divided by adjacent 10. So it is 26.565 degrees. Each leg makes an angle of 26.565 degrees. This is the top view. So B and C are aligned with respect to this axis here because the angle of shadow of O to B, OA, and OC are each 120 degrees. So since the shadow of OA is along the y-axis, positive y-axis, so we have an idea that theta should be 0 because it is given that FOB equals FOC. So the only way, FOA has no x component, so the only way these two will be equal is when F is aligned with the y-axis, but we have to verify that, of course. So we have already given this. So summation forces along X, take note FOB equals FOC, summation forces X equals 0. So we have this component of FOC. First is this shadow here, which is FOC sine of 26.565. So it is directed in that direction, which is now here. This is FOC sine of 26.565 degrees. Then we multiply that by FOC sine of 26.565 degrees. We multiply that by cosine of 30 degrees because FOC is directed in this direction, so the x component is positive by multiplying cosine 30 degrees. Then FOB is minus, so first this projection here, that projection which is FOB sine of 26.565 degrees, it is minus because it is directed in the negative x direction, in that direction there, then times cosine of 30 degrees, then plus the x component of 100, which is this 100 sine of theta equals 0. Since FOC and FOB are equals, and these are equal values, so we can cancel that, leaving 100 sine theta equals 0. So sine theta is 0 over 100, which is 0. So theta is arc sine of 0, which is 0 degree. So that's the value of theta for the first part. We then sum up forces y equals 0. So we have summation forces y equals 0. This projection of FOA, which is this, is FOA times sine of this angle 26.565 degrees. So that's it. That's the y component of FOA. Then plus the y component of 100, which is 100 cosine of 0 degree because theta is 0 degrees. Then equals, because FOB equals FOC, so equals the y component of FOB, which is first the projection FOB sine of 26.565 degrees. We multiply it by 2 because FOB equals FOC. Then the y component we then multiply by sine of 30 degrees, this opposite part. Simplifying, so we have 0.44721 FOB, which is this, then minus sine 26.565 degrees FOA is minus 0.44721 FOA, then leaving 100 here, equals 100, call that equation 1. Then summation forces along Z equals 0 because all forces are downward, so we'll just make downward positive, so all these are treated positive. So we have FOB, each force makes an angle of 26.565 degrees with the z-axis, so that's automatic. The angle theta z, it is supposedly negative, but it is supposedly 180 minus 26.565 degrees, but we treated downward positive. Anyway, that's the downward component. So FOB cosine 26.565 degrees plus FOC cosine 26.565 degrees plus FOA cosine of 26.565 degrees equals 0. 100, there's no component along the z-axis. FOB equals FOC, so we divide everything by cosine 26.565 degrees, so we can cancel cosine 26.565 degrees. And write FOB plus FOC plus FOA equals 0. Since FOB equals FOC, so 2 FOB plus FOA equals 0. So that means FOA is negative 2 FOB. We substitute this value in equation 1. So we have 0.44721 FOB minus 0.44721 times negative 2 times FOB for FOA equals 100. From here, we can solve FOB equals FOC equals 74.54 pounds, and the direction of the force for OB and OC is correct as indicated. Then for FOA, it is negative 2 times FOB, so negative 149.1 pounds. So meaning it is opposite this direction. So FOA should be FAO. The force is directed from A to O. So FOA is 149.1 pounds from A to O. So that's it for this video. I hope that you were able to follow the explanation and the solution.